Let's talk about some weight loss tips that don't work. First on the list, moderation diets of any kind. The problem that is presented when someone tells you to moderate portions is that by the nature of the case, it's undefined. What does that mean, moderate? Does it mean eat a smaller plate? Does it mean eat one fewer plate? Does it mean restrict yourself to a smaller spoonful? If so, of what foods? Does it mean to drink less wine? Does it mean to eat less sugars? It's undefined by the very nature of the case. So when someone says you should eat more moderately, that's the first problem you run into. Not to mention executing any plan of attack on actually dealing with food in excess. Moderation plans are just about impossible because they don't address logically the subject at hand. Number two, the idea that you should drink water before your meal to feel more full and eat less. Now, this is one of those tips that seems to work for some people and not for others. For me, it has never worked. The idea that you drink a lot of water and you feel full and you won't eat as much just hasn't happened. But the problem with a tip like this, even assuming there's some validity to it, is that it's not effective enough. So let's assume that some people buy into it and say, well, it could work a little. It's still a deceptive tip because it implies that it works more than it does. And that's my problem with talking about beverages that cut your appetite. Some beverages really do seem to, like coffee and tea, they do have a little bit of an effect on reducing your level of hunger. But it's not always good to tell people that because they think that that's going to remove their hunger. So I think we need to be careful with that. Number three, cut out the sweets. Another weight loss tip that is deceptive because people think that that means they're actually going to start losing weight because they got rid of sweets. Here is a truth that everybody should remember. If you are in shape, you can do two things to maintain weight and never gain weight your whole life. One, stay away from alcohol, and two, stay away from sweets. If you never have sweet sodas or candy bars or cakes or anything like that, even if you eat multiple meals, but if you never drink, if you observe those two rules, you'll go through life and you'll stay in pretty well perfect condition. That's great if you don't need to lose weight, but if you need to lose weight, you're not going to lose weight just through giving up coconut cake or German chocolate cake or a candy bar or donuts. You're going to have to do more than just get rid of sugars. So that's a deceitful premise because it's not effective. Number four, wait 20 minutes to get a second portion. I've always heard this. Going back many years, they say, well, if you are eating, if you can wait 20 minutes, and then you don't want to go back and get any more. Such BS. Not true because, well, first of all, I actually tried it. I was still hungry. One of the reasons people come to one meal a day is because you can feel more full than you can with other programs. And this could be true for some people, perhaps. It has never been true for me. Number five, park further out and walk or take the stairs instead of the elevator. This gets back into the exercise issue where people say you should be more physically active. It's a great way to maintain weight. It's a great way to boost your cardio and work your heart. It's probably not going to be something that gives you enough of a calorie deficit to actually lose weight. And therefore, it's not a good idea. The only good advice is to keep yourself at a sustained calorie deficit. Number six, and the last on the list of these deceitful weight loss tips, is supplements, taking supplements. People ask if Carcinia cambogia makes you lose weight or green tea extract makes you lose weight. The answer is no. Could they help on some 10,000th of a little bitty level? 0.000 of a little percent, maybe, but probably not. The reason is for the same reason. You have to be at a sustained deficit. If you want to argue that they could help your metabolism in some way, it's possible. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's not possible. But the problem with supplements is that people get around thinking if you dose yourself with a bunch of supplements, you're going to lose weight. Not the case. The only thing supplements really do is make your pee more expensive because you pee them out. That's not true if you have a legit deficiency. If you are deficient in B12, like our family is, we get mouth sores, cankers under our lip because I get it from my dad. If I eat junk food like Pringles, certain foods for a while, which I never do anymore, but if I did that back in my big days, I would be broken out with mouth sores. I had so many sores, and that's a sign of a B12 deficiency. There's a few different signs, but yeah, supplementing makes sense. Niacin helps depression if you take enough milligrams of it. If you take about 3,000 milligrams, it does help. But the problem with saying something works for stuff like that, it messes with the expectations of people. So you can do this on Amazon. Go and read the reviews on any supplement out there, and you're going to find that a lot of people say, yes, it's very good, I liked it. And then you're going to find people who say, no, it didn't do a thing. And then you're going to find people say, maybe it worked, it was okay. Well, the reason that you're getting different answers is because the effect, even if there is one, isn't enough to be detected. So the purpose of my presenting this list is you don't want to give credit where credit is not due. You do not want to say that something works when it does not. You do not want to say to try something that may or may not be helpful. You want to say something that really works. And that's why my experiences, and the reason I started this YouTube channel, is because I know that what I have done works not only for me, but works for everyone. And it works, even though it requires sacrifice, it works, and it will change you, and you will see that difference. It will not be like going into a room and someone says, hey, you smell that in the air? And they say, yeah, I know, I kind of smell it, but it's like a placebo. We fall prey to that all the time. There was actually an Oprah show where that was done, where they said they released an odor, and they said, is it burning your eyes? Yeah, I think it's burning my eyes. And they got nearly everyone in the room to say that there was some effect, but it was just, nothing was released. It's just, that's how the mind works. So we have to be very careful not to throw out tips or pointers that may not be very effective. This is not to say that none of these can ever work for anybody, but it's very important to not go hog wild on tips, because sometimes a tip can tip the scales in the wrong or the right direction. And so it's something we have to pay close attention to.